Hi everyone. So today in this class we'll discuss about the load balancer, AWS Cloud Load Balancer. What is the purpose of creating the load balancer? When we will create the load balancer, and how we can create the load balancer in AWS Cloud. We'll discuss everything. So first few minutes we'll discuss about the basics load balancer. Then I'll go with hands-on. So let's start. So what is load balancer? And you can see here load balancer, balancing of the loads to multiple targets. So in IT words, you know that load means traffic. When the number of traffic will increase, it will divide the load to multiple EC2 instance. Let's say you have a multiple instance. Let's say you have an application uh, who is facing more and more traffic from the outside world. So in this case, we'll create a load balancer. This load balancer will, when the traffic will increase, it will divide the load to multiple EC2 instance. So in this case, what will happen? Your backend server will be not down. Okay. So this is the purpose of creating the load balancer. And when we need to create the load balancer, so let's say when you are going to launch your application for external world, in this case you will create the load balancer. It means when you are going to in the production deployment, in this case you will create the load balancer. And when not to create the load balancer, because guys, one thing you should know that when you will create the load balancer in AWS, you will be get charged. So let's say you are in testing phase or you are in development phase. In this case, don't need to create the load balancer, because in development phase only developer is working. So the developers can easily check their codes and everything and application in the instance level. Then in this case, no need to create any load balancer. So in this case, you will be not charged of the load balancer. Okay. So in AWS we have three types of load balancer, application, network, and classic load balancer. So we'll use the application load balancer. So let's see what is application load balancer and how application load balancer works. So first of all application load balancer works on the OSI 7th layer, and it allow developers to do route between path forwarding. Let's say like www.example.com/orders. So path based routing is allowed. This is the main advantage of the load balancer. Second advantage of the application load balancer, it will route the traffic to the different availability zone. It means it will let's say this is your EC2 instance in availability zone 1, and this is your EC2 instance in the availability zone. So this load balancer will serve the traffic to different availability zone. You can see here I have a one EC2 and the same EC2 instance here also, but the availability zone is different. Okay, so when someone will hit www.example.com/orders, so first it will come here. Then if it is full, like the resource is full or CPU is full, whatever we have given, then it will give the request to the different EC2 machines. So basically load balancer is useful when you are deploying so many microservices. In this case, application load balancer is very useful. And when you want to serve the traffic on path based routing, in this case you will use application load balancer. And when you are serving load through HTTP and HTTPS, you in this case your application load balancer will be useful. Okay. Then next thing, the working process of load balancer, how the load balancer is work and how we can create the load balancer in AWS. So first off, if you are going to create a load balancer in AWS, you have to create a target group. So basically target group means a set of EC2 instance where we have actually deployed our application or microservices. This is your target groups, means a group of EC2 machines. And after that you need to create a rule. In the rule we create a listeners. Listeners means a particular ports where actually our load balancer will listen. Okay, where actually our load balancer will give the traffic to the EC2 target group. So this listener, this port should be allow. Okay, if you will not allow the ports or listener, you cannot able to get any request, means outerward will not get any request. Okay. And most important thing is health checks. So guys, load will not host anything in the load balancer. All the application will be running inside the EC2 machines. Okay, so this EC2 machines uh, have our application code. In this EC2 machines I have deployed my application. So this load balancer will if we hated our load balancer internal IP, means if external word hitted our load balancer URL endpoint, then load balancer will give that traffic, that request to the EC2 machines. Let's say this EC2 machine is down. So what outer word, what external word will get? They will not get any output. Okay. So this load balancer will perform health check. If any EC2 machine will get down, if load balancer will find any EC2 output not good, then it will terminate that EC2 instance. Then load balancer will not give the traffic to that EC2 instance. It will give the traffic to the healthy EC2 instance only. Okay, remember these things, and no, don't forget to to add health check in your load balancer and in the target group also. Okay, yeah. So this is all about the load balancer. Still, if you have any doubt, you can comment in the comment box. And okay, so let's go to the hands-on how you can create the load balancer in AWS cloud. So guys, this you can say this is AWS console, and here I have some EC2 machines here. You can see here I have one running EC2 machines. Here actually I have just installed a simple Nginx app server. So in this case, what I'll create a load balancer using this EC2 machines. So means when anybody hit our application URL, load balancer URL, that person will get the output from this EC2 machines. It means whatever we have hosted in this, whatever the output we are getting from this machine, will get the same output from the load balancer IP address. So let me see. If you'll see the console, this is my servers, EC2 servers. So now if you log in here, so now if you can check here, Nginx -v, you can see here I have installed the Nginx. But if you want to check the outputs, you can see, just copy and paste your public IP. You can see welcome to Nginx. So same output we need to find it, get from the load balancer load balancer URL. So how you can get it? So first in the left corner you can see load balancing. So first guys, I already told you that first you need to create the target group. So create the target group, create target groups. So guys, here you can see instance, IP address and lambda functions. If you are serving the request from the IP set of IP address, you can click on the IP address. If you are serving, if you have created any lambda function in AWS, you can create the target group using lambda function. But right now I'm going to create a target group using my EC2 instance. So I just click on the EC2 machines and target group. I'll give it Nginx target group target. Okay, and I am giving a port 80 here. So you can also give a VPC. If you have created any your own VPC, you can select from the drop down. But I have launched my EC2 in the default VPC, so I'll select that thing only. So health check, this is the main thing, health check. So guys, how this health check will perform, I'll tell you. So health check will perform using load balancer URL and slash. So let's say if your load balancer URL is like lb.com or something else. Sorry, your load balancer URL is like, one second, let's say your load balancer URL is like lb.com. So slash, it will perform health check using lb.com and slash, and then this hit go to the EC2 machines, and if this EC2 machine will not serve any traffic, then load balancer will think that this is unhealthy EC2 machine. If EC2 will get some output to the load balancer, then it will be healthy instance. After that you can also give some advanced option like this way. You can see here healthy threshold, unhealthy threshold, timeout and interval. I'll let you know. Healthy threshold, the number of consecutive health check success required before considering an unhealthy target. Let's say load balancer send this URL to the EC2 machines. So what he will check consecutive 5 times. Okay, in this case, if it will find any issues, if it find the traffic from the EC2 machine, it will say this is unhealthy, this is healthy. If it will find no response from the EC2, it will say that this is unhealthy EC2 machines. So unhealthy EC2 machines. So how many times you want that your load balancer will send the traffic to the EC2 machines before it got as unhealthy? So you have set it 2, means load balancer will check at least 2 times. So then it will decide that your EC2 machine is unhealthy. Timeout. Okay, timeout, the amount of time in second during which no response mean a failed. Let's say load balancer have send a given a traffic to the EC2 machine, so it will wait for 5 seconds. If it will not find any response from the backend, means EC2 machine, it will say this health check is failed. Then interval also. So let's say you have launched any EC2 machine, or if you have added any EC2 machine the target group, so it will send the traffic after 330 seconds, like this way. Then click on the next. Then you can see this is loading. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You can see here this is my EC2 machines where I have deployed a simple Nginx application. So include is a pending. First you need to add it here. Then create a target group. So let's wait till your target group is creating. Okay, let's wait for a second. For that purpose, I'll open my load balancer here also. Right now you can see a target group has been successfully created. So after that, what you need to perform, you need to click on the load balancer. Click on the load balancer. Right now you don't have any load balancer in this region, in the Mumbai region. So create a load balancer in the Mumbai region. So I'm going to create a application load balancer. Create on the application load balancer, and it will give some output. So why we are using application load balancer, you know it very well. So if you want to create load balancer that is internet facing, means public world can access, then you can click here. If you want, you are using this application load balancer for internal purpose, you click on the internal, but I'm using it for external world. So give a name Nginx LB. I'm giving a name as Nginx LB. Nginx. Then listeners, you can see in the diagram that load balancer will check the port of the listener. So here I'll give a port number of 80. But if you want to make your load balancer as a SATPS, you need to add port 443. But in this case, you need to also upload the certificate. But I don't have any certificate, so I'll not upload certificate, and I'll make my HTTPS load balancer as a HTTP only. After that, guys, and this is most important thing, and always launch your load balancer into availability zone, into data centers. So what will happen in this case? If one data center will be get down, in this case another data center will be up, and your load balancer will serve the traffic to external world, because overall external world will hit your load balancer URL only. Okay, they are not hitting your target group, they are not hitting your EC2 machines directly. So if the load balancer URL is down, so the external will not get any output. That's why we need to launch it into availability zone, into data centers. So click here, and next configure security group. So because load balancer is listening on port 80, so create a load balancer security group. So you can see here by default it came as a 80. So I'll make it 80. I'll make it anywhere. So next, configure routing. Routing base you can also do it from here. So you can give your existing target group which you have created. Otherwise you can also create your own target group from here. So you can give a name also. Okay, if you have not given your existing target group, if you'll create new target group, that time when the load balancer will be created, you need to attach that existing target group. Okay, I'll tell you how you can do this. That's why I'm creating a new target group from here. So I already told you that I am using instance for serving as a my target group. Okay, so HTTP, then it is like for health check only. Yeah, load balancer URL and slash, it will send the traffic to the target group using this, and it will perform the health checks. And this thing you also know, threshold, unhealthy threshold, timeout interval. Okay, so next, register target groups. So I am registering this as a target group. Okay, add to register, and I am registering it. Then next, review, you can review it, and then create. You can see all the things is creating. Then go and see what is the output. So let's wait for a minute. So meanwhile our load balancer will ready to. So guys, you can see here in the description, you can see the DNS name of your load balancer. So this is the endpoint of your load balancer. So but if you have purchased any domain name, so you can give this you can put this DNS name into the A records. If your purchase is from GoDaddy or BigRock, you can give in, put this in the A record. So just click this, and our requirement was whatever we are getting from the backend server, we will get from this server also. So how we can get? Let's copy it. Let's wait. Right now you can see you are not getting nothing. So how you can get? Because guys, if you remember, I told you you have created new target groups. So you need to add the target group which you have created earlier. So how you can do this? Go in the listeners and add listeners. Okay, wait a minute. Forward traffic and nginx target. Then after that, click here again. Then go back. Just leave. Let's wait. Wait a minute. I'll add again nginx root. So we edit. I'll edit it, and you can see here. Sorry. Go back and add the listeners from here. Click on the add listeners. I'm getting some issue. Wait a minute. Add actions. Forward all the traffic which will hit your load balancer URL to the this backend. So I'll make as nginx target, then nginx as a target. In this, so like this way, you can see here it attached. I have attached the target group with this load balancer in the listeners. It means I have attached the target group from the listeners. Okay, so listeners will listen the URL of the load balancer. Then it will divide the traffic to the EC2 machine. So now if you check here, wait a minute, it will give you the output. So now wait a minute. Okay, you can see here you are getting the same output what you got from the EC2 machine backend server. So this is how you can easily configure, you can easily create the load balancer from the AWS cloud. Okay, and guys, if you have any question, please comment in the comment box. And thank you so much guys, and please do like my this video, and please subscribe my channel, because I'll upload so many DevOps video very soon. Kubernetes, Docker, each and every video I'll upload. So please don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you so much.